Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're taking a look at how to heal and finally move to your next chapter of your life. And to do this very special reading, we are going to be picking 3 piles together. I feel like this is big. How about we divide it into 3 parts? This way it's easier to shuffle and pick the cards. So that will be 1. And this will be 2. And then, oh, thanks. This will be 3. Let's see what we have for today's reading. So for pile number 1, we have the Medallion. Interesting. Okay. For pile number 2, we have the Dead End. And for pile number 3, we have the Crone. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, we have the Lodalite. Let me adjust that so you can see it. There we go. And this is what your crystal looks like. There we go. For pile number 2, we have the Snowflake Obsidian. And this is what your crystal looks like. And for pile number 3, let me adjust that. There we go. We have the Bloodstone. And this is what your crystal looks like. All right, so take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to, and that will probably be the pile for you here today. And as I always say, if you feel drawn to more than one pile or perhaps all of the piles, trust your intuition, because it is your magic that guides you to your right reading every single time. So whether you're just drawn to one and you know that's it, or several, or perhaps all, let it guide and lead the way for you freely, so that you can listen to the messages that are meant to reach you. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, welcome to your shuffling and card picking process. It is so lovely to have you guys here as we prepare for your readings. And today we are taking a look at how to heal and finally move to your next new chapter of your life. And to do this reading, these are the cards that we will be using. On the left are the oracle decks, and on the right are the tarot decks that we will be using for your reading today. Okay, so let's now start. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in any of the decks that I use, you'll find that I always list them down in the description box. All right, so we want to know how to heal and finally move to your next chapter in your life. So 1, I feel this one is 2, and actually this one No, it's this one and 3. Okay. All right. So, how to heal and finally move to your next new chapter in your life. And then I feel this one. Okay. All right. Oh, I feel like these are the 3. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, now it's time for your tarot cards. And with the tarot cards, we usually take 2 cards from each deck. Oh, I didn't see it. I'm gonna flip it. Side, yeah. Okay. How to heal and finally move to your next new chapter in your life. How do the 3 piles heal, please, and finally move to their next new chapter in their lives? I feel this one, and this one, and this one. There we go. Something very interesting is standing out to me straight away. Did you guys notice that in the 3 piles today, there is a hand in each one? And to me, this is really signifying that there is certainly a helping hand for you guys listening to this reading today, and you are meant to get out of this situation or this pain that you are going through, and you will be assisted, maybe even held by the hand to move to your next new chapter in your life. I wish everyone got to hear this, but maybe you're meant to hear this as you're preparing the piles. There is a helping hand in all the piles, showing that people watching today will be assisted and brought out to the other side. Maybe I should tell everyone about this during the reading. Okay. Ooh, I see 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. There we go. 2 and 2. Okay. Now for our final tarot deck. 3. 1, 2, and 3. This one. Oh, I hope the paper... No, it didn't fall. Good. All right. So 1, 2, and 3. All right. So our 3 piles for today's reading are now ready. Let's now put them together neatly. So that will be pile number 1. There we go. Yeah, that'll be pile number 1. Let's keep that there. Lodalite. I don't want to cover the hand. The hand is very significant in today's reading, so I'll keep it there. So that will be pile number 2 with the Snowflake Obsidian. And that will be pile number 3. There we go. Right there. All right, with the Bloodstone. All right, so your 3 piles for today's reading are now ready. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I love your energies, and I'm really ready to get into your reading and find out for you from your cards how to heal and finally move to your next chapter in your life. All the best of luck. May you always be happy and healed and experience a wonderful life. Love you guys. And let's get straight into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Lodalite as well as the Medallion. All right, very interesting. So this is what your main card looks like. I'm really wondering what this is going to say. Let's keep your main card right there with the Lodalite. And let's check your oracle cards first. Right. So you have on one side strength, and on the other side we have weakness. Okay, let's keep it right there. You have nonsense. It's a time to talk sense. It's time to talk sense. That is, was a very significant moment in Alice in Wonderland with the Queen of Hearts. That's really cool. You have Vamana's blessings. Yes, that's a very interesting story too. Very interesting. All right, let's take a look at your tarot cards first. So you have the Death card right off the bat. Very interesting. It really shows a lot of what we're seeing here. Okay. You have the Judgment card. Wow. I mean, if the cards were speaking, wow. All right. Actually, I feel this one first. You have the 10 of Swords. You have the 14. This is the Temperance. You have the 9 of Swords. This is the after tarot. So we're seeing this person, this figure in the 9 of Swords, dealing with their demons and fighting them, not allowing them to scare them any longer. Interesting. And you have the Death card again. This is a very significant moment. And I did mention this point in the pile preparation process. But if you see, every single pile today has a hand. And it kind of signifies that you're really going to be assisted. There's an emphasis in all of today's reading that you are going to be assisted, held by the hand. and move to the other side. And this reminded me of what I've noticed when I saw now the death card coming twice. This is going to transform for you. This whole situation is going to change for you, and you will be healing. You will be healing. You will be getting stronger and specific from a situation that had a horrible effect on you, as I can see. You have, or situations, difficulties. Yeah, you're really hurt and cut in the heart, in your innocence, in what you didn't think the world would do to you, or the people around you would do. You were in this pile. You were highly, highly betrayed, and it really struck your innocence. Pile number 1. So you have the 4 of Wands, and you have the Harvest of Thunder, which is the King of Swords. Very interesting. And since we're seeing so much innocence in your 10 of Swords, I think you got hurt at an early age. So this is not something recent, not just betrayals, recent betrayals. This actually goes way back into childhood, where at an early age there was a shock that scared you, a shock that scared you, and perhaps took you from your strong self to making you feel worried about things, maybe not wanting to face things or wanting to keep the peace with the Temperance card here, to remain in peace, to not face troubles. But I'm seeing in your cards here this invitation of standing up for your demons. Now, we do see the hand reaching out for the medallion, showing it is to heal and to move to the next chapter of your life. Whenever you're ready to do that, it's to finally do the one thing that you may not have yet chosen to do yet. But I do see that in your future, very near perhaps even, maybe even tomorrow, who knows, you will be making that move. What is that move? Here we see in your Alice in Wonderland card, when Alice responded to the Queen of Hearts, you know, she went and became all enraged and went crazy and started going off with her head, you know, and that would be a terrifying moment. It really would, because the Queen has the power to do that. But you see, Alice here said nonsense, and she stood up for herself with courage, spoke out for herself with courage. And when you speak with courage, you're willing to stand up for what you just said. You're willing to go all in to protect yourself and to speak out for what you didn't like. And so here, I see the medallion, the healing, will be in doing the one thing that you haven't done yet. I feel with Temperance, especially with this wonderful figure sleeping, you're a peaceful person. You want peace. But sometimes in order to get peace, one has to speak up with strength and stand up for oneself. This is when you will fight the demons that are making you feel afraid, because nothing in the world is worth for you to be afraid. It could take a bit of training with the butterfly here changing and growing, but you certainly can start making these types of actions now. Standing up for yourself and healing that childhood wound that now is perhaps weakening you by fear and anxiety and worries. And to end this once and for all is to show yourself now, as you've grown and matured and blossomed, that you can stand up for yourself. And standing up with strength, and once you've taken the step to stay there and make sure you stand up for yourself, even if it sometimes means losing, although you don't want to lose, it is standing up for yourself anyway that will give you your strength back. Doing that will be the transformation to how you feel, healing your inner child wounds, healing forever your inner child worries, because now your mind has come out of this dark hole into the light. It has seen you. Be strong and talk for yourself, to speak out with strength. King of Swords, we see a balanced mind, strong balanced mind, coming from as a result of being balanced and transforming internally. And really the guidance here, in order to do that, is to show your mind that you can stand up for yourself, you can be strong. And so allowing your mind to change that trigger, that scary feeling that it has forever. Because now it sees something completely different. And as you try, be okay with the fact that it may not work the first time, the second time, the third time. Nobody, even the best people, don't always win. It's a very wrong or misbelief, high standard that no one can keep, of not being okay with not winning. Sometimes we don't win. It's okay. But it's you knowing that you'll be there for yourself. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it takes time to work. And sometimes it doesn't. Happens with everyone. Be okay. Take the loss and move on. It's okay. It showing your mind that it's okay and you moved on, that it's not going to get to you, is going to be the way to getting out of the fears, out into the light. And as you interact, if you see the reaction that you're afraid of from someone, then that's a rude person. Cut relationships with that person. But at the end of the day, show yourself that you do not allow anyone to treat you in that manner. And as you stand up for yourself, you'll build the confidence in that area, building an aura of energy around you that protects you from the very beginning of having people target you or hurt you in the first place. You create that aura, strong energy around you that prevents this whole thing from the situation. You learn so much, but you got to go through it to get that understanding and to have that type of strength. So the healing will happen the second you choose that one thing that you may not have tried before, at least over and over, with standing up for yourself every single time. They can put labels, may not like it, they can do whatever they want. But you the rule here is you are going to stand up for yourself. And through the interactions, you'll learn. If you meet these scary people, the rude people that you may be scared of because of any childhood trauma, then move away from them. They're not supposed to be there. Everyone meets these people and you will be building muscle. But at the end of the day, you got to do the right thing. And that's why you have Vishnu here in your reading. We see Vanama. So the story behind Vanama is, so there was a king, a benevolent king called Mahabali. Mahabali belonged to the netherworld, right? But Mahabali had taken over the earth and the heavens. He was a good king. Everyone loved him. He was wonderful and a devotee of Lord Vishnu. So now there's a situation because now the Lord Indra wants to gain heaven back. And so the Devas requested Lord Vishnu to overthrow Mahabali, but Lord Vishnu refused because Mahabali was not only a devotee, like mentioned, but also was a very good king to his people. So, but now at the same time, do you see the dilemma here? But at the same time, we gotta give back heaven to Lord Indra. So the way the Lord Vishnu thought about this was a way to put everything back in place, but at the and facing doing the right thing, and not feeling back down because he loved Mahabali and Mahabali was a great devotee, but at the same time being fair and doing the right thing. So you can see the strength and you can see the boldness and trying to take the right steps, but being also kind at the same time. So what Lord Vishnu did was he turned himself, as you can see, into Avamana. Avamana means a dwarf. He made himself smaller. And he went to attend Mahabali's celebrations, right? There was popular celebrations for Mahabali and he went there. And so when it was his turn to ask Mahabali for his gifts, all Vishnu asked for were 3 paces of land. 1, 2, 3. Now, as a small person, this really amused Mahabali because that's a small gift. It's going to be 1, 2, and 3 paces. So Mahabali was amused and he granted the gift to Vishnu or Vamana. Now, as soon as this happened, the Lord Vishnu turned himself into a huge giant. And with one step, he stepped on the earth and the heavens with one step. The second step, he stepped on the earth and the Netherlands. And now there was a third step. And Mahabali was a very honest king. He owed the Lord Vishnu another step. So he offered him his head because there was nothing else to step on. So the Lord Vishnu stepped on his head and gently sent him to the Netherlands in his world. But as he sent him, he gave him so much blessings where he was even richer than Lord Indra, made him immortal, where he's able to live an everlasting life. And he personally stood there to be his own guard in the Netherlands. So we can see in this situation that although this was a tricky situation where one would go, I don't want to do that, No, it's to think about the right way of doing something. It doesn't always have to be aggressive, but it has to be bold. One has to do the right thing at the end of the day. Whether it's done softly or whether it's done firmly, it's standing up for what is right for you and what is right for the situation. Even if sometimes this requires one to do it from the very beginning and creating that aura, which I believe you are stepping into as you learn from the encounters that you go through. And so, my dear pal number 1, I see that it's a matter of a mind state, reaching a strong, balanced mind state that will transform everything for you. And that is by showing your mind several times that you're not gonna back down. You're not gonna take what you don't like, even if you don't win the first couple of times. Take the feedback and get back and try again. It's okay. Tell yourself, I'm learning to get myself out of out of this stage of my life and to enter my new chapter. The sooner and the more you do what is uncomfortable, the more you let yourself out quicker. So timing is all up to you. It's in your hands. The more you do it, the more you push yourself to do it. Being okay with losing in the beginning, to get that feedback and talk yourself into it. Okay, so I the next time I can answer and say that, the next time I can do that. Drop labels, forget about what others are going to say. It really doesn't matter. Everyone puts labels to get it their way. There are just so many things that people do. Don't be afraid of labels, whatever the monster is. Don't be afraid of rude people. Rude people you cut off straight away. You can even see the sword here. Don't be afraid of losing the situation. You try again and again and again. The more you try and do the bold things that you'd rather not do, the more you take yourself, the faster you take yourself out of this level and get into the blessed level in your life that you're supposed to be in, the strength that you're supposed to have, that was perhaps robbed from you as a child, and now you're supposed to gain back. And whether you do this slowly or do this quickly, it's all in your hands. It's about doing what's uncomfortable, but what is right at the same time. And protecting yourself, nothing in the world ever could be more right. And my dear pile number 1, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I know you're going to rock. Your reading is showing us that you will be out of this. And you are a strong person, and you're only getting in touch with your inner strength back, claiming it back for yourself. And this is exactly what I see in your reading, my dear pile number 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, my dear pile number 1. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find the link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And my dear pile number 1, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm rooting for you. I know you're going to do this soon. All the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Dead End as well as the Snowflake. Oh, let me adjust that. There we go. As well as the Snowflake Obsidian. Very interesting. Oh, I've noticed something. I've said it to pile number 1. I've said it in the preparation. The 3 cards today all have hands. Even pile number 1. Let me show you. The 3 piles today have a hand in the reading. And I feel like there's a strong message today for the people watching the piles today, that there is a helping hand from the universe that will be assisting you, holding your hand, taking you to the other side, to the next chapter of your life. Perhaps there is advice. There's definitely things that you may need to do or want to do, but at the end of the day, you're not alone doing this. You'll have a hand taking you step by step to help you to the other side. So with the Dead End here and the Snowflake Obsidian, let's explore the rest of your cards, starting off with your oracle cards first. All right, so you have peaceful on one side and violent on the other side. Let's keep your main card there, yeah? And this one right here. You also have such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, and coming home. All right, let's keep it there. And You have Karna's generosity. Okay, interesting. Let's now take a look at your tarot cards. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the High Priest. Interesting. This is 5. This is the Hierophant. Okay. So you have the Hierophant. You have the Page of Swords. Seeing a lot of fighting in your reading. I don't know why. We'll find out. Doesn't this look like a guitar as well? All right. So you have the the Page of Wands. You have the Tower card. This is, you have the 5 of Cups. This is the after tarot. So these are the scenes depicting moments after the regular Rider-Waite-Smith. You have the Strength card. You have the Harvest of Wands, which is the King of Wands. So you have the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. It's interesting that the Page is Swords, the Knight is Wands, also the King is Wands. Okay. And last but not least, you have the 4 of Swords. So what are we seeing in your reading? It's interesting that you have peaceful versus violent. What is that? So right off the bat here, with all of the black in this reading, I'm really seeing that you have actually reached a dead end. And it might look like a bad thing, but this is actually great news. Because this looks like, you know, hitting rock bottom. And when you hit rock bottom, there's only one direction left. And that's going up. So in this reading, I'm seeing, first of all, before we talk about what you're being advised to do to heal and move to the next step, I first want to let you know that the difficult situation, specifically with people in your life, is ending for you very soon. That's done. It is definitely finished and done with. Now I see a theme here. Oh, especially with this Alice in Wonderland, I forgot to tell you. This was one of the reasons I really saw this as the end of the situation. Because here we see with such a curious dream, we see Alice in Wonderland waking up from her dream and telling her sister all about it. She told her, oh, I've had such a curious dream. And she kept telling her sister, as well as she could remember, about all the adventures and the strange things that happened to her. And when she was finished, her sister kissed her and said, it was a curious dream, dear. Certainly. But now run into your tea. It's getting late. So it's like you're waking up now to your real world. You know, I feel like, or I'm trying to make noises of waking up from a deep sleep where someone would open their eyes and realize, hey, everything is good after all. Waking up from a nightmare. So you're about to wake up, it seems, from a violent one as well, because we see a lot of blood here in Karna's generosity. Look, before I move on, I do want to tell you that you are definitely, by nature, whether you know this or not, and I'm telling you only what I'm seeing in your cards, a very strong person, because you have the Strength card, and you have Karna. And Karna was the son, or the illegitimate son, son of the sun god. And so he was born with armor and also earrings that made him immortal. So to you, innately, there is a lot of strength. There is a lot of strength in the people listening to this pile. Natural. So before going back to what I was saying, I see here that you're about to end a nightmare with maybe violent people or people that are very difficult to deal with. You have been around these people to really, with the Hierophant, learn a great spiritual lesson. And I do see already what this spiritual lesson is. People were taking advantage of your generosity. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have Karna in your reading. And Karna, despite the fact that he was born with armor and earrings that made him immortal, he was neglected by his mother. His mother, by the way, was Kunti, who's the mother of the Pandavas. So the father was the sun god, and the mother was Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas. This is important here because we're going to get to the Pandavas in a second. So since he was illegitimate, his mother had given him up at birth. So that was really difficult, and he lived a difficult life. And despite all of that, he was known to be extremely generous. You know, he never, what is it called? He never, like, if someone asked him for anything, he never would put them down. He would always give them what they wanted. That's how kind he was. And because of this extreme kindness, he was given the title of Danvir, and that's a big title, which means the generous warrior. And so he was given this title, and there were other generous people like Arjuna, who asked once Lord Krishna why he wasn't given this title, and Lord Krishna, told him stories about Karna and how, yes, even though Arjuna was generous, and how Karna was selfless in his generosity. I don't want to get into too much detail of the story. I just want to extract the message for you. So one time, the Pandavas, they felt like he was so strong and realized that it was going to be impossible to kill Karna. So instead of trying to kill him because of all of the strength that he has, they decided to, and realizing it's impossible, they decided to make use of his generosity. And so with the help of Lord Indra, who went to him dressed as Brahmin and begged him for his earrings and armor. Now, the good thing here, even though Karna is really generous, he was forewarned by his father, the sun god, and so he can see through Lord Indra and what he was doing in his trickery. So he agreed to part with them in exchange for Indra's divine weapon, which he would use to destroy Arjuna. So we're seeing here an exploitation of generosity. People around you have been, even though they were violent or they were mean or they were trying to scare you, despite all of the wars going on, they were trying to make use of your own generosity. You know what I see in this card with the Five of Cups with the disappointment card? Do you see someone's like drowning and they're asking, oh sorry, I'm very sorry, there we go. Someone's drowning and asking this person for help. You know that swimmer that always asks for help, I'm drowning, and then everyone on the beach would go and save them. One time, two times, third time, they're like, oh, he's playing, because every time he comes out there, he's like, haha, gotcha, I wasn't drowning. So the third time when he was actually drowning, no one really paid attention to him. My point is, again, we don't want to go full stories with everything, but my point is, yeah, see, these people were trying to get your sympathy, take your generosity, but they disappointed you every single time. And they were perhaps the reason for all the pain that you are healing or are in the process of healing. And so with the Page of Swords, here I see your message is that as you stand up for yourself, see, Karna is the son of the sun god. I see so much strength in you. It's not like you even need a pep talk to show your strength. You're already a very strong person. And so here, it shows you that if you stand up for yourself, speak for yourself with the swords, you will realize that these people are scarecrows. They look maybe scary, but or violent, because that's showing up in your reading. But the fact of the matter is, that's just a facade. They're helpless, just like a scarecrow. They cannot do anything. And so you're being invited to stand up for yourself with these people, because it's the only way where you're gonna find peace and create the peace that you are looking for. To show your strength, there has to be power at the other end of the stick, so that no one end is taking advantage of the situation. And that's why you have the tower card here, and the peace you're looking for. So it is using the tower to get to the peace and the rest that you want. Here you have the Tower card in conjunction with the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. So by shocking them with you speaking out, because that's the Wands, that strong energy, it's voicing your thoughts, speaking out for yourself, going, you see the wolf here going, oh, saying how you feel, speaking for yourself, standing up for yourself, which is clear in all of your cards here. That will be enough of a shock to put everyone in their place and to finally find the peace that you are looking for. So not only is this whole situation going to end and you are moving into much peaceful times where this is going to be like a dream, a bad dream, and you're waking up now to reality, returning to reality, grounding, coming home, finding yourself again, finding peace and rest. Your advice at the same time is to stand up for yourself, not let anyone take advantage of your generosity, and to speak up, because you realize that most of them really only have a facade, and they're only trying to scare, just like a scarecrow. But in fact, they're not as effective in reality as they may look like they are. And you will this way, my dear pile number 2, find the peace and the rest that you are looking for. And you don't always have to do it in a violent way. We did notice a guitar from the beginning. We do notice the wolf also, making their famous sound, which is quite emotional when you listen to it. Ow, right? So I'm seeing that if you need to use strength to stop the people in front of you, use that. If it's to use your strength by simply being bold and voicing what you want, sometimes even kindly and softly, but being there for yourself and speaking up anyways, that also works. So it's the reading, as I can see it, is not inviting you to be violent, but rather inviting you to see the situation. What does it require? What type of volume does it require from you? It doesn't always have to be in a nasty way. You seem to be a very generous, kind person, but you have to be ready. If it needs you to stand strong there, then stand up for yourself. If you still need to be bold, but to voice it kindly, then do that as well. But at the end of the day, it's about getting in touch with your internal strength, just like the son of the sun god. You are a very strong person, my dear pile number 2. You'll be in touch with this inner strength, and you will be carried out of this phase, assisted and carried out of this phase. You'll find success in your endeavors of standing up for yourself, and you will be moving to the next chapter of your life where you'll be resting greatly from all of this. There's one more step out for you to finish and move out of this situation and totally heal. This is what I see in your reading, my dear pile number 2. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, my dear pile number 2. This book could really help you out in the next year, setting goals for yourself and achieving them, watching yourself achieving these goals, all while doing it with enjoyment. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find the link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And my dear pile number 2, thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you the best of luck from my heart. So happy that you're ending this and moving into a new chapter of your life. Be bold and be blessed and bring out your strength, and you'll see so much magic, my dear pile number 2. That was your reading, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the very interesting Crone as well as the Bloodstone. Let's see how this fits into your reading. Keep it right there. All right. We also have the 6-rayed star right there. Very interesting. I can already see a lot, but let's take a look at your cards first. So we'll be taking a look at your oracle cards. Before we take a look at your tarot, you have... Oh, interesting that you have Awakening and the Crone. Isn't that interesting? So you have Awakening on one side and Suppressed on the other. You also have a moment's regret with nostalgia, idealizing the past, fearing you've made a mistake. All right. You also have, Draupadi's rescue. Interesting cards. I see extreme protection in your reading, especially with Draupadi's rescue and the Crone, the hand holding the Crone. You are divinely protected, my dear pile number 3, and there's no question about it in this pile. Crone, you're a highly spiritual person. You've got guides that are protecting you. You have the universe on your back. There, you don't understand how protected you are, especially as you hear Draupadi's rescue story with divine protecting her. Unbelievable. Against all odds, against everyone, like a lot of men, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. The Pandavas really trying to humiliate her. All of these men standing. No one was able to save her. And so I'll tell you the story as we take a look at your reading, but at the end of the day, not to make this any longer, when we take a look at your tarot, she was saved. Despite how difficult the situation looked and how humiliating it could have been, and all these men who wanted to laugh at her and humiliate her, yeah, she was saved. So you have the World card. This pile, like I said, is definitely divinely protected. You also have the King of Swords. You have the Two of Swords. The Queen of Wands. This is the After Tarot, so these depict scenes that are moments right after the regular Rider-Waite-Smith. And you have the Page of Swords. Interesting, Page of Swords. You have the King of Cups. The Seed of Thunder is the Page of Swords again. Whoa, interesting. So King of Cups surrounded by the King, surrounding the King of Cups. A lot of swords here surrounding the King of Cups. And last but not least, you have the Seven of Cups. So what are we seeing in your reading, my dear pile number 3? Seven of Cups is a card of fantasizing. It's a card of building castles in the clouds, having huge dreams. So it looks to me like you've gone through hardships that you may have even regretted certain decisions, my dear pile number 3. Because here with the moments of regret, this is when Alice in Wonderland, despite her wanting to pursue her adventures and go down the rabbit hole and do all these exciting things, there was a moment where she sat down and for a moment started regretting it, thinking maybe it was better, to be back home where she didn't have to eat to get bigger or smaller, and she didn't have to be bossed around by mice and rabbits. But then again, she thinks to herself, but it's a very, very curious place. So you have been through a long journey, my dear pile number 3, that I see in your pile. A long journey of you wanting to, you had some certain dreams, big dreams, maybe, and up until now, it didn't come or manifest in the way you imagined it in your mind. And so sometimes you've had regrets to the decisions that you may have taken. While at other times, you know that this is what you wanted to do at the time, what your heart wanted to follow. And so we really see here that you have been through a grand awakening journey. Where yes, a lot of things were suppressed from you, but you were going through this great transformational journey that is about to end now with the World card. This whole journey from the Fool to the World, this long journey of going through every card and the Chariot, then the Lovers, then, the Lovers and the Chariot and the Hermit and the Temperance, then the Devil, then the Tower, then the Star, you know what I mean. Just so many ups and downs, and you're probably tired, very tired. There were a lot of times where you had to be strategic and think you've matured a lot through this journey. And it's time for you to rise from this long journey, find your awakening, and to move away from the things you were, from the era where you were suppressed, where you wanted to do so much but couldn't. Do know, my dear pile number 3, that your healing has to do with trust. To know that although with the Two of Swords, you know, usually it's not usually, the Rider-Waite-Smith is depicted with the eyes being, I forgot what it's called, but with a scarf, she couldn't see in the Two of Swords. Although you can't see the way ahead, and although things were difficult, where sometimes you doubted things, do know that you're about to throw the past in the past, and everything was done for a reason, for you to reach exactly with the hands pointing towards the fire, these grand dreams that you wanted in the first place. And to get to them, it seems like you've had to go through a whole grand transformation, a long journey of learning so much in order to be able to achieve the things that you want. Here we can see that you were always divinely protected. Always. No matter how difficult it was, you will go back and see that you have been protected even from the smallest difficult situations that could have gone down very wrong or maybe humiliated you. You're very, very, I cannot stress this enough, very protected in this pile, my dear pile number 3. Here in Draupadi's rescue, long story, but I'll tell you the part that is important. After her husband has lost the bets to the Pandavas over and over. The brother lost everything, including his brothers, his family, and even his own wife. And when the Pandavas took his wife to humiliate the Kauravas, further humiliate the Kauravas, they've decided to, as you can see with the hand here in the sari, they've decided to pull at Draupadi's sari in order to humiliate her in front of everyone, bring down all of her sari, but she was rescued by Lord Krishna, because the more they kept pushing her sari down, the more Lord Krishna made her sari elongate, and so it was endless. They can never bring it down ever, saving her from this very difficult situation. No one was able to touch her or do anything to her. So you were, despite the difficult situation, I can see that you were always divinely protected. And I do see with the Page of Swords coming up twice, especially in conjunction with this King of Cups, you've matured. See, I'm seeing dropping of old emotions, dropping the past, dropping the bitterness of the emotions and the bitterness of what happened in the past, ending this cycle and beginning anew. You're starting now a new cycle in your life where you're really going to rest and rejuvenate. I see in the Queen of Wands taking care of her child. Usually you see that depicted maybe in the Empress, but here I see it in the Queen of Wands, showing that all you need to do here is trust. That's all that is needed in your specific reading to heal and to move into the next chapter of your life. Things have been difficult. You may not be able to see ahead, but you are divinely protected by bigger powers. Queen of Wands is a powerful character in the tarot. So you're divinely protected by strong spiritual guides, by a strong guardian angel, by love from maybe source, the universe, from God, You are loved and protected by strong powers. You could have seen the Empress, which is still a matriarch, but we see the Queen of Wands here, showing power. You're protected and loved by strong powers. And we keep seeing these all over your reading. We even see the Lord Krishna here in the reading, you know? And all that is needed in your reading for you to heal and to move on is to know that this cycle is ending, to trust. Trust that it's all going to be over, awakening, and see, awakening from a difficult journey, waking up, starting anew, where now you're moving towards the cycle, because life is cycles, right? Just like the moon. You're moving towards a cycle where you're now going to watch your dreams come into light, come and manifest into your life. My dear pile number 3. Let go of the regrets. Know that everything always happened for a reason. It happened for you to grow. See, I'm seeing the 6-rayed star, which is a great ancient symbol, symbolizing the unity of the feminine and the masculine. So I'm seeing you become whole, growing your feminine side, which is spirituality, and getting in touch with your intuition, going through your spiritual journey and finding out who you really are, learning to manifest what you want. And at the same time, with the masculine energy, it's also being bold, strong, speaking out, fighting for what you want, going after what you want with force. And so I see you really becoming whole in this reading. You're coming full circle into a mature spiritual soul. You've matured and grown so much in your very long journey. We're talking from the Fool to the World card. And with this divine protection and this higher power wanting to help you out, you will be now entering into a phase where you're manifesting everything that you have dreamed of, everything that you have wanted in your whole life. The reason why you started this whole journey, where sometimes you may have doubted yourself because of it. Now you're about to get everything that you want. My dear pile number 3. This is exactly what I see in your reading as what you need to do exactly to finally heal and move into the next chapter of your life. I really hope you've enjoyed it, my dear pile number 3. All the best of luck. May you enjoy this new chapter in your life. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it so much. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, my dear pile number 3. This book could really help you out in the next year of manifesting your dreams and the things that you want. It helps you not just set goals, but it teaches you to simply and easily and in an enjoyable way how to turn these goals into and manifest them into real life, being productive and self-disciplined, all while enjoying the process. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate reading it in the first place. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And my dear pile number 3, all the power to you, all the blessings that are meant to happen to you, all the blessings to you. And may you have a wonderful new chapter, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.